What's up? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm gonna jump right in. We're talking NBA playoffs. I'm gonna jump right in. Colton, you still got the Timberwolves. They won the first two, lost the second two. We got an even series going back to Denver. You did choose the Timberwolves. I'm putting you on the spot. You still have faith?
It's a little scary. Hey, shaky ground right now. My prediction. Um, I think it's possible, and I'm gonna stand with my prediction. The Timberwolves have already showed they can win two games in Denver. It's not an impossible feat. It's tough, but they've done it twice.
Can't
Uh,
win at home though.
yeah, I mean, they should be the Denver Timberwolves and the Minnesota Nuggets. Like, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Edwards is really falling out. Cat had a really bad game last game.
Did.
Gobert was kind of invisible against Jokic last game. The swarming defense of the beginning of the series was not there when they were at home. So they need to really pick it up. Maybe this is like a wake up call for them, but I'm gonna stick with them for now.
Yeah, I thought the real difference maker was the Cat Aaron Gordon matchup. I mean, obviously all the star powers and Jokic and Murray's getting it going, and obviously Edwards is going bananas. But it seemed like that Cat Aaron Gordon matchup, whoever kind of gets the better of that matchup, the game seemed to go that way. And last night, boy, Aaron Gordon outplayed Cat. Cat kind of looked like the Cat of old, in my opinion. I thought. He's looked a lot better this year, in particular through the playoffs. But he was like 5 for 18. He was constantly foul baiting. Like every time he went into the hoop, he was just looking for foul shots, and he wasn't finishing strong through any contact. Was kind of throwing up those bullshit floaters. He needs to get back to his game and play assertively if they want to have a chance against the Nuggets because the champs got it rolling right now. Jamal Murray in particular is got it going. Aaron Gordon's playing crazy.
Aaron Gordon
And
was hitting ridiculous shots, by the way. He was hitting like crazy fadeaway. I don't think that's
I
going to
think
continue.
he's like 7 of 8 from three in his last couple games. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a good play. He did this last year in their championship run too. He played amazing. It's like I don't think it's that much of an outlier necessarily.
He
I
was
think
like 10 for 10, 25 points at one point. That's an outlier for me.
yeah, maybe, but I mean, it's not like he does this every 10 games. He'll maybe do this every like 4 or 5 games, which is kind of what you need in a playoff run. But and then obviously three-time MVPs doing three-time MVP things. So yeah, that series is I am sticking by my original call that I think whoever wins that series is going to win the chip this year.
It's been and just as exciting and fun of a series as we hoped it would be. When we realized this was going to be the matchup, I think we were all happy. And I agree that I think whoever wins this series has a good chance of getting it done. I think Minnesota really came out swinging in a way that maybe Denver wasn't quite expecting or wasn't quite ready for. The energy, the youth, the
They were
excitement.
used
I
to
mean,
playing the Lakers. It's a little bit of a
yeah,
different
yeah.
story.
I think maybe were feeling like they were playing some old slow guys again, and that wasn't the case, and they got hit hard. But I think a few things changed. I think that Malone, as a coach, is very good at making adjustments and also at reminding the team of what it is that they're good at. And so they took that step back. They made the adjustments. They realized that their bread and butter is that two-man game between Murray and Jokic, and when those two are on and when they're tight and locked in together and playing unselfishly, like they were in the last couple games, they're borderline unbeatable.
I heard Malone created like a highlight reel of all the talking
Yeah.
heads saying that the Nuggets were done. That's one way to motivate your team. I don't know about X's and O's. I feel like go throw your three-time MVP out there and let him play pick and roll, and that does a lot of the damage. But that might be a way to get some of those other, as Shaq would say, the others involved, get them motivated and going. You mentioned youth and running. OKC looked good for the first 5 games of the playoffs, but they took it in the mouth the last couple against the Mavs. Luca, Kyrie, both going off the PJ Washington. My goodness, Derek Jones Jr. Shout out, former Blazer. They're up 2-1. Riley, you had the Mavs. What are you seeing? that's going on in that series? And do you think that it's going to be a wrap, or do you think OKC is going to take some momentum back?
What I'm seeing is basically what I thought was going to happen, which is that OKC is a fantastically talented team with a very bright future, but Dallas was a fantastically talented team with a very bright future about 3 years ago. And they just have more experience playing together, more time. Luca has really, I think, taken a step into being just a leader on the team and someone who can lead the team through a playoff series against a really good opponent. So I think that Dallas is going to get it done still. I think, OKC will win at least one more game because it is a competitive series. But yeah, I think Dallas is still going to get it done. And they look just very locked in, and Kyrie is playing some very good basketball. I'm not the biggest Kyrie fan in the world, but man, he came ready to play in this series, and it seems like he and Luca have kind of figured some things out.
He's a playoff performer. He steps his game up when they matter most. Colton, you had OKC, so did I. What do you think? You still have faith in them, or are you switching?
Kyrie's a playoff performer when except for when he's on the Celtics, or except for when he's the best player on his own team, or a lot of different ors. Uh, he
When he doesn't want to get vaxxed, that's when he's the best
Yeah,
player.
yeah. No, so the Thunder, have the youth. It's looked pretty interesting overall as far as like entertaining games. It's gonna be interesting for Luca though. I keep saying interesting. That's interesting. But
It's
Luca's
an interesting playoffs, man.
Luca's health is the biggest factor here. He's looked really kind of gimpy running up and down the floor. He's getting banged around. Dort has tackled him. He's been
The
in
torture chamber.
the torture chamber. Yeah. So if Luca's healthy, it's going to be tough. I'm still going to side with the Thunder just because Dallas is so heavily oriented on his shoulders. And if he's slowed down, that's going to be tough unless Kyrie goes nuclear every game. But it's a good series as well. I'm excited to see what happens.
I think the X factor so far has been Chet Holmgren, actually. I think he had the last two games, he's been invisible, still blocking a few shots here, there, but
Rookie.
he hasn't looked nearly like he looked throughout most of the regular season and in the games that they're winning. They really need him to perform big if they're going to have a chance, especially against all that size Dallas has. We talked about this going into this series. I actually thought Dallas had a size advantage. They're showing it off right now. PJ Washington and Gafford and Lively, they just look huge. And OKC has one big guy, and he's kind of getting pushed around right now, as you would expect from looking at his frame. So I don't know. Maybe he just needs this experience, but I think he's gonna have to play a lot better for them to have a chance. Going over to the Eastern Conference right now, Celtics are on the verge of taking a 3-1 lead against the Cavs. They're up 13 with 8.5 minutes left. Donovan Mitchell not playing, calf strain. I think it's borderline academic at this point. The Cavs put on a good run there in the third quarter, and I was excited there for a second. Niang and Merrill and those guys hitting threes. Karis LeVert trying to carry him. But yeah, I think the Celtics just too much talent. I had them going in. I'm sticking with them. I still think it's their conference to win, even
Moving,
without Porzingis.
moving quickly through this because I think it's kind of academic. Celtics just have too much. The Cavs don't have enough. It's simple as that. And everybody kind of could see it going in. The Celtics will just drop every single game too in every series. So we'll just,
Is Donovan Mitchell gone after this?
I think so. There's too much smoke.
Yeah, I think really this kind of goes into our next series too, but I think that the Celtics have had an incredibly easy run through the Eastern Conference because of injuries. I mean, you look at, against Miami, they were banged up and not nearly at full strength. Then you've got Donovan Mitchell going down, and then, they may end up going up against the Knicks in the next series, and we hope that Jalen Brunson's healthy, but he looks a little iffy too. So the Celtics might end up making it all the way through to the finals without really facing much competition, which is a bummer because there's some good teams in the East if they're healthy.
They're
Well,
going to
who
be
are they
not
gonna
battle tested though when they get to the finals, and they're going to be going against a team that's been through war after war. But you mentioned
who are they
that.
gonna play against though in the Eastern Conference
Yeah,
Finals?
you mentioned the Knicks. I don't know about that. I think that the Pacers have all the momentum right now. I think Tibbs ran his guys into the ground again. I can't believe he made this mistake again. But I mean, he did this 10 years ago and ran D Rose and Butler and all those guys into the ground. That sucks because he's such a good coach. The culture that he builds within the team is fun, just hard knows the grindstone, uh, tail box, all those turn of phrase. They play great defense and they rely on a star player. But man, with Anunoby out, Mitchell Robinson out, obviously Julius Randle, it's gonna be a tough road for them. I think I might switch my pick. I think I might go to the Pacers. They just have so much more depth at this point.
Too many injuries. Simple as that. For the Knicks, I think the Pacers are going to make it.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that the Pacers are going to finish this one out. They looked like they were ready to destroy the Knicks in the last game. They took full advantage of the tired team. They took full advantage of their home court in that game. I think they might end up getting this one done.
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments who you think's gonna win these series. Bye-bye.
Bye.